Centuries ago. The last visitor from Earth.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Ultimate Street Racer here, back with another video. Now, today is going to be something a little bit different because I recently discovered that they're actually pulling the plug on the Ford Fiesta. Now, they're pulling the plug on the Ford Fiesta simply because, well, the name, it's partly because of the name, because Fiesta doesn't really sound that modern. It's kind of like when Datsun changed its name to Nissan. It's kind of exactly the same thing. But the main reason why the Fiesta has been discontinued is because of high emissions standards. Now, I was going to give off an up-to-speed video on the Ford Fiesta, as well as a little review of my car, the highly anticipated review of my car, but as it turns out, the up-to-speed didn't really go that well. So instead of just embarrassing myself, I'm going to leave a link down in the description box down below, so you can check out the up-to-speed video on the Ford Fiesta made by Dount Media. Check it out, it's a cracking episode. Need to try and get some training maybe from those guys, maybe one day. But enough of me babbling. Click that link to watch James Pumphrey describing the Ford Fiesta and talking about it. But stay tuned on this video and just keep watching if you want to watch my review of my car. So without any further ado, let's get into it. This is the car in question. Bought off of Facebook Marketplace for a reasonable, I'd say roughly around about £1,200. And for the insurance, because not a lot of people actually tell you how much they pay for insurance for these cars, I'm currently paying about, what, 200 something a month. And here she is. I've been meaning to do a video on this car. I've been meaning to do it ever since I first got the car back in March of this year, 2022. If you've not seen the video, here's a quick wee little clip here in the top right or top left hand corner of the video. But if you haven't seen it, if you want to see the full video, then links in the description down below. But I just thought that, well, because Ford is ending the Fiesta, I thought I would give a quick little up to speed on the Ford Fiesta. And the Fiesta, well, all of the Fiesta's coverage will be done at home. However, I just thought it would be a good idea to take a review of my car, so that we don't need to go up to speed on the Mark 7 Fiesta a lot, which this one is a Mark 5 Fiesta. So this was mine. It's 2009 Ford Fiesta Zetec. Now, this isn't the exact car that I wanted as a first car, because the car that I wanted as my first car actually ended up being the 1997 Toyota Galanza 5. However, I've did a bit of research. It is possible to get that as a first car. However, it's not completely brilliant. Because, for instance, from where I live in Scotland, right, there's probably tons of them out there still, right? But it's just finding one that's been sold cheap. It's finding one that's how should we say, factory standard, no modifications, no nothing, and one that's in really good condition. And those are just 3 things that I can mention off the top of my head, and it is a pretty difficult find, and ended up getting this baby instead. I mean, it's not that bad, as this review will go into more depth on, but I think enough with the little intro to the Fiesta. Let's get into the more nitty-gritty side. So, for instance, I'm going to go ahead and pop open that bonnet so you can take a look at that engine. And there you are. So, as I'm sure you can see, that there, that is the 1.2 litre naturally aspirated Ford inline 4-cylinder engine that produces 80 brake horsepower. Yeah, it's not exactly ideal for me, but it gets the job done alright. To be fair, the Glanza does have 80 brake horsepower standard as well, so that's kind of alright. But I do plan to modify this eventually, but I just don't know when I'm going to do it, because insurance prices and that are already pretty sky high when it comes to younger drivers. But I haven't really had anything particularly bad running with this car yet. Sure, get the odd wee knock or two. For instance, like when the engine's running, it's warm at the moment. Just give me a second. And yes, this is one of those cars that I don't need to put the clutch in when I'm starting it. It's running fine at the moment, but probably in a minute or two you can hear like a wee whining sound, and I think that could probably be the radiator or something. But I'm not too sure what the problem is with it. But and this video will also help the people that, I don't know, maybe want to sell this car in the future, maybe want to learn a little bit more about this car. So for starters, there's the battery over there. See what that red thing is over there? That red battery connector, that's your battery over there. And right here, you can't really see it that well, but right here is the thing that recharges it all. It's the alternator. A lot of editing in this video, but no matter. Brake fluid reservoir sitting up here. We've got the coolant reservoir. That's quite hot actually. And here that's where you check your oil. Let's see, is there any milk from the head gaskets? It's still quite hot, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Any milk? No, no milky residue as far as I can see now. Doesn't seem to be anything, so that's good. Where you put your oil, obviously, for you beginners out there who don't know nothing about cars. And of course this yellow thing down here, where are we? You can't really see it that well, but right down here there's a yellow stick. That's the dipstick. Obviously we go and check your oil level, and I think you can kind of see it here. There, that's it there. Aye. But all in all, it's a pretty decent car. Here's where you put your windscreen fluid in here, and here's that's your air filter and stuff. But all in all, the car's actually running pretty decent now. If I were, and of course there's your fuse box in there. Right, if you guys are wondering, well, why don't I take it for a test drive? Well, I want to, right? But at the same time, it's kind of difficult because I want to do it Top Gear style where they have it mounted on the windscreen, but I still need to find my way around that. Sorry about that camera cut there, but it's just to change the batteries because, as I said many times before, the camera batteries on my camera here are absolutely useless, absolutely pathetic. Not sure if there's any too much to differ here, so I'm just going to pop the bonnet back down and I think we'll move on to the interior. I'm sure you people out there watching this probably already know how to check your oil, so I'm not going to even bother explain that. Right. Now, very recently, let's move on to this panel here. I don't think you can see it that well, but I did recently have a bit of an incident with this car, really. Because not long ago, I had my power steering. Or was it power steering? No, it wasn't power steering. It was water pump and timing belt changed. Taking it down to the garage. Here's some footage of it now. Well, not really footage of the incident, but the footage on where the incident had happened. Now, the car was already fixed and ready to go on the road. The water pump and timing belt had already been done. But as soon as I got back to the car the next day, all of a sudden, the guy had parked my car just next to a cup, right? And there was a wee pole sitting there. Now, I could see the pavement and the pole clearly before I got in the car, but as soon as I got into the car, couldn't see it at all. So I ended up running into the pole. The tyre actually hit the pavement, and a bit of the front driver's side wing actually hit the pole. The tyre's got a little bit of scuff marks on it, but as of right now, it's probably hardly visible. Same thing goes with the dent. The dent's hardly visible at all, really, to be fair. I mean, it's right in here. I had to do a little bit of repainting, but if I have to open the driver's side door, you can kind of hear like a wee knock. Just wait for this lit just to go by before you do anything. Just casual. Right, now that he's gone, you could probably listen to it a bit more carefully. You hear that? Now basically what had happened is this dent here actually came out a little bit and ended up jamming the door in, so therefore I couldn't really get out, so basically can't really see it properly on camera, but this was about as much as I could open the door. And on that day that it happened, it was pretty difficult since I had to literally GTA style it climb through the passenger side. That was really undignified because I had to wield the back of the seat down in order for me to actually make it to the driver's side, but that's nothing to do with the car's fault. That was, well, I guess some would say that was my fault, and some would also, like the insurance companies would also say that was my fault as well, but I didn't see the pole when I got into the car. I saw it clear as day, as I said before I got into the car, but I'd never seen it at all as soon as I got into it. So to me, I would say that that's really whoever put that pole there, that's fault, really. So Stirling Council, if you're watching this, or if indeed well, anyone who ever put that pole there is watching, probably not. But if you're watching this, then can you please do something about that pole at that garage there, since it's too low for the ordinary driver to see. Right, so this is the place where the bump happened actually, at Maz Autos in Flynn. The car was parked right up here where this van is. The car was parked exactly here. I don't think it hit the curb. I'd seen this. and I'd seen this before I got into the car, but as soon as I got into it, couldn't see it at all. This little block caused a dent in that. What a stressful day that was. But anyway, let's just move on to the interior. The interior is actually not that bad actually, as you'd expect from a normal Fiesta. Now, originally, I didn't like the 7th gen Ford Fiesta, since, well, the shape of it just looks like a bean, and it just doesn't really look that good. And I didn't like the way the interior looks, like the center console. I thought originally that was ugly. I literally think it's, I mean, it's better than what other stereo aftermarket stereo companies can make for this car. So it's, well, one of them either has like it's creating an obstruction up here just by where the screen is, right up here. And another one's like a Tesla style, but I don't know if there's any others out there. I could probably give them a shot. But sneak peek, the first modification could be coming very soon, because I'm having a little bit of issues with my Bluetooth system. Now, the car does come with Bluetooth, but only for the mobile phone feature only. It doesn't have any it doesn't have any Bluetooth system for the phone, so which is why I'm having to rely on like various different like Bluetooth applications and such. So if I were to get out and actually try and get the camera in, you can see them. Right, so you see those cables in that down there, that's what I use to connect to the Bluetooth, and it is a bit of a pain, to say the least. And as well, sometimes my Bluetooth system likes to either turn itself off, or it likes to pause my music. It even sometimes likes to disconnect the thing altogether. So that's not really a good thing. Another bad thing is that the controls on the steering wheel. Now, we've got the volume up and volume down, we've got skip buttons, and we've got the mute. However, if I want to skip a song on my phone, I can't do it. I have to literally either just let the song play, or I'm going to have to find a place to pull over and skip it on my phone manually. I can't use the skip buttons on the steering wheel there, so bad mark for Ford there. I'm sure there could be another way around it. I'm pretty sure the issue would be sorted if I were to get a new stereo and obviously a subwoofer eventually. But other than that, there's not much I can do really. The light switch all the way down here. The lights at night, the lights do work, although sometimes, well, a lot of the times I end up seeing that like they don't really look as good really. So like, so if I had to bring you around to the front now and turn the lights on, I don't know if you could see it properly because we're in the daytime. But you can kind of see that they are kind of on. But so here's a comparison. That's on. That's off. On, off, on, off, on. Now, I can see the reflections off of signs and the backs of other cars, but unfortunately I can't actually like see them lighting up the road, so I don't know if that means I need to get new bulbs or if the headlights need adjusting. I don't know. I really do not know at this point. The interior now, it is as clean as I can get it. So if we were to come around to, let's say, the boot, in the future we will see, well, maybe see a subwoofer in there. I'm not too sure about like nitrous balls and stuff like that. I'm not too sure about modifying this thing specifically, because I don't think it really deserves that kind of treatment, really. Because if I want to modify this, then I'd be better off just getting an ST instead of just a Zetec with 80 brake horsepower. Now, it is as clean as I can get it, but obviously it's not that clean because my Hoover at home sucks. Or if you're listening to, or if you're watching this in America, then the incorrect word is vacuum cleaner. But you may remember the leaking issue that we had, that I discussed when I reviewed this car. We managed to suss it out. It was this tail light here that was the issue. Now, it was basically the previous owner probably changed the lights, maybe even the bulbs, I don't know, but he didn't tighten it all correctly. So we can see here, we can see a bit of sealant here on the, a bit of the silicone sealant up here on this bolt, and there's some all the way down here, and also in the inside there, which is why the car was leaking. The boot was all soaking behind the driver and passenger seats, and the floors were soaking. So I had to literally like go in and take all the under sealant off. So I had to go and take the under sealant off. Now you may notice that we've got a boot floor, just gotten that from a scrapyard. But we could see under here that we've got a space saver in there. See that? Got a wee space saver in there, so that's just for emergency uses only. If we were to move on to the interior, the only things that I've managed to replace on this is the brake discs at the offside front. If you don't know what that is, and offside front is obviously driver side front. Near side front's passenger side front, just because, well, near side meaning nearest to the pavement. So I had to change the pads, the discs, and but that's all I managed to replace. I should have filmed that, I know, but also another issue was the driver side seat belt. A lot of the times when I'm driving, I've got my seatbelt on, obviously, as you would expect, but the seatbelt warning light kept on coming on and the sound kept on buzzing, so I managed to get that fixed. It was actually the seatbelt clamp itself that was the issue. I think maybe the wetness must have destroyed the sensor for it. Now you can even see in the interior it's not exactly the cleanest. Like if we were to look in the carpets, it's not exactly the cleanest, but it's the best I can do, because as I've said again, my Hoover sucks. There's not really much else to say, really. Seat goes all the way forward. Now, for future buyers, I would put a little bit of caution here, because I don't know if you can see, but in the back of the driver's side seat, there's a wee spike. Right here, right where my finger is. So, just a word of warning, be careful. Now, one of the things that we did manage to do was, yeah, you can see how messy the carpet is in there. I tried my best to clean it, but as I said, Hoover's useless. Now we could see the carpet. You can see it's not exactly fixed, right? We managed to remove all this, and you can see there's no underlining. That was the thing that was all soaking wet, and we couldn't actually get it all clean, so I had to literally just rip it all out. Apparently you're meant to actually hear the road surface a bit more, but I can't really hear a difference, to be honest. But ever since we took those underfelt out, I've never managed to get the carpet properly tucked in the back, and it is a pain. I think we might have broken the tabs as we were cleaning it out. Yeah. The back is pretty much alright, but if we were to take a look with the rear the rear legroom in the car, if I had to just put myself in the back and pop the seat back to my driving position, it's a bit of a faff. Right, so I'm able to get in the back now, but if we were to take a look here, yeah, and I'll get a better point of view from my phone here. You can see there isn't very much legroom for me back here, really. I'm literally sitting behind myself. It's not really much the same for this, really. It could be a lot better, but at the same time it could be a lot worse. I think that's about all I've got to say with this car, really. I could say it drives well, it stops well. It hasn't really got much in terms of performance, but it's good enough for what it is. Right. So with that, I'll probably give a extra review, probably with my mates, to make it a little bit easier when I finally discover some more stuff about this car that I need to know about. But it actually drives really smoothly, as I said. There's not really much else I could say, really. So, oh, and yes, and there's one more thing as well that I forgot to talk about, and that is fuel consumption. Yeah, the motors in them don't sound right. But anyway, fuel consumption. Now, there are times where, obviously, as of right now, because of expensive fuel prices and so on, I'm very much limited to driving just on half a tank, and I'm just going to power this thing up, just so I can talk about fuel consumption for a sec. Just so that I'm out of the way of people coming in and out. Just so that they don't go and say, "Oh, why is this guy parked so funny?" Yeah, but as I was saying, sometimes I only drive like half a tank because of how expensive petrol is and that. Yes, Americans, you heard me right, it's petrol, not gas. It's a liquid, it's not a gas. But I'm doing about, what, 35.5 mpg. My total mileage, I've done about 160,252 miles in this car. I don't know how far that is. I don't know, like, if that's like from what, Edinburgh to Glasgow or whatever. I don't know, and I don't know how many times neither. But a lot of the time I'm having to pay £20 at the petrol station. Although at the moment I'm going quite brave and spending a little bit more than £20 in the petrol station, just so I can get it up to a full tank. Now, at the moment, what is it? Got about 257 miles left until I need to refuel again. That's not really full tank. Full tanks are like about, what I think, 315 miles on it. But the fuel tank, it is pretty small, the fuel tank. It's 47 litre fuel tank. Now, to put that into perspective, alright, the 2013, turn the engine off for a sec, the 2013 Ford Mustang GT500, that has a 50-litre fuel tank. 50. So that means this car has a smaller fuel tank than a Mustang. Now, I know that people in the comments would say, well, yeah, that's expected, really, because a Mustang isn't really, like, it's more like a track performance car. Like this Fiesta is an everyday car. It's a daily car, so therefore, of course, it's going to be lower.
So I guess then that at some point then, a few of you guys would be asking me, how easy is it to park the car? Well, that's where I'd gone to the Wellgreen car park in the city centre of Stirling to find out and to give you the answer.
So then, for those of you who are wondering, how's parking like in this car? How easy is it to park? Well, it's pretty much simple actually. It's pretty much reasonably straightforward. It's just like any other kind of passenger car, really. Although my kind of experience with parking, especially reverse parking, is a bit, because I've only recently just given it a go, so and plus the car park that I'm in at the moment, which is the Wellgreen car park, isn't really the best in terms of manoeuvrability, and as you'll see in a wee minute when I get parked up, you can see there that we've got plenty of room over there towards, I think that's that milk, but yeah, we haven't got that much room there where the Citroen there. And of course, getting out of the car park, obviously, easiest thing in the world. You know, I don't know why anyone's really asking, like, can you park it? How easy is it to park?
It is actually very small and very short wheelbase, so it's very easy to see in and out of. Obviously, besides if there's a tiny little pole sitting in your way that you can barely see within the cabin.
Just drive out, up to the barrier, wait for it to go up, there it goes. Easiest thing in the world, really. Next.
Well, what about refueling? What about that? Well, I've already discussed what refueling is like, and this is just a quick wee demo on what it's like. So I went to Tesco's just off the Burmuir Road, just at Stirling there, just to show you what refueling process is like in the wee Fiesta.
Now, of course, one really annoying bug about this refueling business, sometimes it just tends to click and stop, even though when I know the tank isn't full yet. Kind of like that. Now, I know this car doesn't really need that much fuel, but I'm just demonstrating what the fuel consumption is, which I'll explain a little bit more when we get a little bit deeper into the review. That should be enough. Just to ensure I've got enough for tomorrow when I'm going out to college out in Cumbernauld.
Right, and just like that now, it is, I actually don't know what time it is now, at the time of recording this, but the day has officially ended, and I've not been able to put together any sort of tribute for the Fiesta other than just reviewing my own car, which is a fairly lengthy video in itself, and there's not really much I can do about it because I'll be cutting out way too much information anyway. So with that, I'm just going to wrap it up there. The videos that you're going to want to see are linked in the description down below to get up to speed on the Fiesta. Same thing goes with my social media. You can go and follow them. The links are in the description down below. And I think that's pretty much everything to say. So, with that, rest in peace to the Ford Fiesta. And this will be the Ultimate Street Racer signing off. See you next time. Peace.